On paper, this is going to be a very close matchup between those two teams. It all comes down to two factors. Has Crazy Raccoon figured out the current meta? Was World Finals just their meta? Now with the buffies, they might struggle a bit more. Draft is already halfway through here. Finks is going to be my top pick on this map, so I do really like ABC's pick here. On the other side, Crazy Raccoon with Ember and Draco. Ember was a big talking point coming into this monthly final. Played in many scrims, also the icebreaker was full of Ember.
Yeah, and I like it. It was two very fast back-to-back picks as well, so they've got a lot of faith in this brawler as well, knowing what they want to pick coming into this one. Probably predicted that early pick of the Finks as well with the bans that they provided. Lumi going to come in as well then for ABC on their side. Took a bit more thought, that one. I don't mind it by any means. It can be very solid, but you know, you've got to be extremely careful of this Draco running riot in your backlines.
So far, Draco's the one that stands out to me the most. I mean, Draco's just not nearly as meta as he used to be, I would say. This just kind of feels like a Crazy Raccoon comfort pick. The reason it's shown up historically in Hot Zone is mainly due to the gadget. Obviously, you get extra life. If you pop it, you can remain on 1 HP for a longer duration. And because of that, you can spend more time in the Hot Zone, which is the ultimate goal. I'm kind of curious if they go for a last-second Gray pick with this, because pairing that with somebody like Draco just makes a lot of sense to me to get him on that Hot Zone immediately.
I had 3 brawlers noted down here that I felt like we were going to see either way. That's Finks, Poco, and Mina. I think Mina is showing up now in the bans. Poco nowhere to be seen. We actually have a lot of new brawlers in this draft overall. Brawlers we haven't seen on this map whatsoever.
Yeah, very different from the pace that we've seen on Ring of Fire several times today. And several brawlers that you mentioned make sense to me in that ban stage. I mean, Poco, like you said, good enough to be in the ban stage. Mina, somebody that's out there. Imps is so good. Yeah, and Pierce goes through as well. And I think seeing Draco, again, it's just interesting. This feels like a very Crazy Raccoon-style pick. I think that's something that worked for them so well at the World Finals. Just comfortable in their own shoes. The meta fit them. The question is, in this month, in a new year, can they get back to doing the same thing? The regular season was the biggest obstacle they faced just 1 year ago. Obviously, the ceiling is a world championship, though, if they can escape.
Well, Milcreo starting well and then quickly got turned on there on the back lines of ABC. Milcreo doing a good job with these dancing flames, getting a few shots in. Tensai still sitting in a decent position on the right-hand side. Will be pinched down now, and a good super coming in on the backside as well. Locked him down in place and did eventually get the kill. Melody coming forwards now, but doesn't choose to use those supers and just waits it out, ready to come back again.
Milcreo taking advantage of the dancing flames, a defensive mechanism that Amber has in her back pocket at all time. For now, it's Tensai releasing the Dragon's Breath up in the face of the enemies. They'll go from the stun from Lumi and Ali there to be a cleanup crew. Milcreo, though, not doing a thing. This Melody pick, also another unique one. I'm really only used to seeing Melody played on a Heist right now, but it seems like the spinning notes, the hypercharge, are certainly going in their favor. Unfortunately for her, she got shredded right there, but I promised earlier she was doing okay.
Yeah, decent until it wasn't. Now the hypercharge coming through from Melody, straight into the back lines. Seems to be just holding that super again and again when going down, ready to bounce back into action. And another gadget used there by Tensai keeps him on the zone for a little bit longer, but it seems like he wants to use those in more aggressive positions rather than when he's just locked down on the point. Really nice super coming in there from Milcreo, doing a good job of burning down those players. And that's another kill again, and a 3-piece for Crazy Raccoon here as they bounce back into action. And now with this control, should be able to close it out.
That's a fantastic team wipe, especially considering that Finks used a hypercharged super, so they're able to get through that and now take complete dominion of the entire map. This is where things get scary. Milcreo, a brawler on Ali who relies on that grass. It's going to give them a Game 1 win, and if that continues, the second Crazy Raccoon gain that positioning. Now they play the sneaky game. Ali is somebody that is full of mental tricks. When you're hiding in that grass, she can pounce at a moment's notice, or she can just straight up go invisible. You have to keep your eyes on her at all times.
Yeah, it looks really good there as well, and the Melody always saving the super to kind of just bounce straight back out of spawn rather than using it while surviving and trying to survive a bit longer on the zone. So we'll see if that's the stance she takes again. Going to be going down the mid, and the ice already used just to kill Milcreo back and stop him from backing up his teammates, but it seems like at the moment they don't really need it. Milcreo doing a good job here, and Tensai will get the kill on the, well, through the mid actually as he pinches into Milcreo's lane.
Tensai just occupying space, doing his best to dodge out, and now that there's several brawlers respawning for ABC, his job got a lot trickier. Thankfully for him, Milcreo there to defend. Not successful though. What could be a double takedown? The gadget preserving his life. Wow, ends up surviving. That's a huge pickup for CR.
Yeah, it's massive, and obviously, as you said, surviving as well, even on that 1 HP. and retreating back, now fully healed, ready to get back on this dragon and breathe some fire, pushing Melody to the left-hand side, and also Ali's going to be able to get a kill as well. Good pickup from the Melody in turn. They're getting some good percentage on the zone for how little control they've had, but Crazy Raccoon running away with it now.
Attacks from all angles out of Crazy Raccoon. Tensai holding onto the mid while Ali is up in the faces. Milcreo just so aggressive. Kill after kill. Kenji knows they have to do something special and grabs a insta-kill with that hypercharge. The stun goes through, it branches out to multiple lanes. Not enough to take control though. Chappie and now Icy have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, Milcreo going huge again, getting the double burn. Chappie throwing down this super now, but with Draco able to breathe fire so kind of widespread, it's hard for him even with that super down to avoid it. They get it up to 98 and Milcreo should be able to just walk on, and that he does. Nice work from Crazy Raccoon and Milcreo as always, giving us a nice emo afterwards, and a great successful first set for Crazy Raccoon.
I just feel like since Milcreo joined this roster, it just looks like Crazy Raccoon are having more fun, and I think it's very easy as professional players with such high stakes and these big moments where thousands and thousands of people are watching you at all time. I think it's good to get lost in that, just to have fun playing the game, to be in a room with your teammates and kind of throw the rest of it aside. Just be you. I think there was a more serious tone beforehand, and I'm not saying there's a right or wrong there. I'm just saying I think this is a welcome change. I think Milcreo joining this team was a huge part of the formula, especially after the expectation of replacing somebody like Shitampo was so high for him. Obviously, he's fit in like a glove.
I've also just realized there's 2 Milcreos. How didn't I see that during the game?
Yeah, that's really going to throw us off. No, yeah, I mean, we're telepromptering it. Yeah, that's not okay.
I did not see this throughout the game. They're not making our jobs easy, I'll tell you that right now. But we'll try work through it. So it looked like Moya was the Ali and Milcreo was the Amber. But, you know, honestly, I was just giving Milcreo a lot of credit on 2 fronts.
That makes
there,
sense. I was like, he's playing the best set of his life. Okay, so Milcreo was the one on Amber. That's devious. That just can't fly on the casting desk, setting us up for failure instantly. We'll have to see if there's any differentiation on the name, but that time I'm going to give a lot of credit to Moya then and appropriately place that, because Ali is somebody who was definitely a key factor in that one. I always felt like Ali was flanking on multiple angles, using that water to get up the map. Really impressed with Moya. I still love Milcreo, but that was a Moya one for me.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who it was, to be honest. I'm still unsure. Yeah, that's
too much.
That's
fun.
a vile
line.
It's a vile trick to play on the casters, I'll tell you that, and going to make our lives a lot harder. But we'll try our best to guide you through it, as the Crazy Raccoon, regardless of having 2 Milcreos, are 1 set up, expected for the 2025 champs. But ABC, I would have thought a bigger fight was going to come through.
Yeah, maybe 2x Milcreo is just what they needed to get
too
the
much
win
power
here. Yeah, it's just too overpowered. ABC, it definitely wasn't as much of a fight as I thought it was going to be, to your point. But a very interesting draft overall. I mean, Draco getting in the mix there, Melody showing up. Again, not brawlers that are impossible to show up in that map or just the wildest thing I've ever seen, but I would say more irregular compared to a lot of the scrims that I've seen, especially in regions like EMEA and NA are ones that I'm typically prone to watching just at home. So now we shift over to something completely different. I would have expected to see Melody here. That's why we see her in the band stage. No Chuck allowed. So a couple of those high damage brawlers, the ones that have easy access to that high save, removed early.
Makes this a bit more entertaining than last time, I feel. It should be kind of the distinctive 1v1 matchups across the 3 lanes, which I feel like that's kind of how they designed this map to be. Angelo's still on the table to be able to go across that water. Same with the Eve as well. 2 brawlers that can do that really nicely. Colt and Otis, 2 brawlers that dish out masses of DPS, going to be banned out the way. Brock available as well, going to be able to do a decent job against that slow-moving 8-bit as well, and still be able to get some DPS on the save.
Curious if they go something like a Bell that could give that damage amplifier plus the bounce shot. I think there's a few options. Amber can keep her distance, high DPS. You gotta find a way to shred through 8-bit. The biggest thing is, as long as you can keep him on the other end playing defense, he can't progress up the map and do the massive amount of damage, because it's a 2-edged sword. He does a insane amount of damage, but his Achilles heel is he's the slowest darn brawler you ever did see. So moving up and marching down that map is hard. And they're counting it with Miko, one of the brawlers that has easy access to the other side. A few hop, skips, and jumps away, and he's killing your high save.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, we're going to see this 1v1 lane matchups at range. We're probably not now, because Miko's just going to be beelining towards that safe, the same as Chuck and Melody would be doing, dealing so much damage and really hard to control that brawler as well. So, although we thought maybe the long range, the Bells, the Brocks against the 8-bit, that's not the route they're choosing to go so far. Still might for their 3rd and final, but we'll see what ABC pick for their next 2.
A lot of choices still out there. Carl going to be something very different. So this bridge too far set compared to what we saw just a few matches ago. going to be a different change of pace here. I think this one's going to be very much aggressive, get down your lane, make sure you're doing damage, because Miko has no interest really in 1v1ing like you alluded to. He just wants to brink it for the heist safe, get a few chunks of damage in there, and then rotate on to the next life. I really like Miko in the game for this game mode in general. I think this is really the only one he excels at, to be quite honest with you. But I almost like Miko a little bit better than Chuck. I just think there's a little more potential with him.
Well, Pierce is going to come through. Long-range brawler and a very solid one at that at the moment. Be able to cycle out so many shots on the likes of Amber and possibly what they pick as a third. It's going to be harder to find those connections against the Miko. It's a question if, you know, he wants to trade the one ammo for one and just jump over your shot. And Charlie going to come in then as the third for Crazy Raccoon to round it out. They've got that defensive measure now and can stop people when they go towards the safe. So I like that. And the Cocoon as well, really solid to take people out.
Yeah, if Carl is trying to use a flying hook or a tail spin, obviously instantly stopped in its tracks if Charlie drops that Cocoon. The Spiderlings for the single projectiles of somebody like Pierce, I see it definitely working out. It's just more of a control brawler. They have to rely on Miko to get that high safe damage. 2025 champs and Crazy Raccoon already up 1-0. 2 Milcreos on the map. We're going to see what happens. I don't know which one of them is going to do better, but excellent players nonetheless. This is going to be contrasting to what we saw on Bridge Too Far earlier. It's Tensai taking off that left-hand side, Miko up the middle of the map, gonna bounce to the left and just try and do his best to dodge as many shots as possible. Even 5,200 damage just for that effort is great.
I mean, he just makes so much room as well. Yes, they might have to kind of double down the defense for that Amber and the Charlie especially, but he can open up so much room and force people back in situations where they don't want to be. Might be able to pick up the Carl here and survive on. He does, but Pierce with some good shots. He's just going to go and get another 5.2 on safe, but still, not much compared to what the 8-bit just did, but they've defended and now got control.
That's where it gets really scary, is that 8-bit can make it across, especially with a super. He can do so much damage. The extra credits can rain down as well, so plenty of potential for damage here too. It's just easier for Milcreo to move up that map. Despite that, though, very evenly matched overall.
Well, he's just missed the burn on safe, I think, there as well, which would have added a few more percentage. There's the 50% crack for ABC, and much more controlled effort from them rather than Milcreo just running up the map time and time again, getting the damage, which should be able to get the crack here with a couple more ammo slots. But down the bottom, Crazy Raccoon are just walking away with it. This damage booster still there. Tensai's eventually going to be able to pick up Kenji here. And it will get the damage booster down as well, but they need to be very cautious about letting this Carl go now.
Huge advantage, too, because they're up in terms of high safe layers, so Achapi even getting a few extra tags is nice. They're going to let Milcreo go, just knowing that they have the advantage. 8-bit turret down, extra damage goes through, and ABC, really solid showing here in the game number 1.
Yeah, very good way to bounce back there as well. We'll say, you know, they kind of just left people, let them go, have the 8-bit do the damage booster doing its work as well. I think it was boosting the Carl at that time. It was just going so aggressive and not letting the Miko just run away time and time again. There was always someone there defending him, stopping him from just going for pure damage.
So changing up how they initially start, Tensai going up the middle this time alongside Milcreo. They're going to leave 8-bit alone. That's a brawler that I would be scared to let trade off, because now Kenji just has free reign on that height save. So sure, they gain 16% out of it, but Kenji, of course, going to be a huge distraction. This opens up a lane for Icy. A tailspin goes through, no Charlie Cocoon available. They have no way of stopping that.
Well, Milcreo just doesn't care. He's going again, wants to get some more damage, and Kenji the one on the defensive side, so quite easy to miss a lot of those shots at close range if you're kind of able to strafe out the way a lot. But Milcreo wants to go up, but yet again just can't.
Achapi, of course, can have the distance on somebody like Charlie, where that yo-yo goes back and forth. So if Pierce is hitting shots, he's going to be able to cycle those tags a lot more quickly. IC still working this right-hand lane. Kenji doing his best to be a stalwart on defense, and on top of that, now he can transition to fully offensive. He's got his turret down in the mid, firing so many shots with that turret boosted. It's over 1,000 damage with every single one of those hits. It's adding up so quickly. Now they're striking through the safe even more, way down below that 25% threshold, and you see the anguish on Tensai's face. A little frustration as that one got away from him.
I mean, that was just dominance from the side of ABC. Much better from them. I do feel like the Miko really didn't do much. Yes, got a few jumps on the safe here and there, but against an 8-bit who's just going to be able to do so much more when left to roam towards that safe. He didn't really take that into account and just kept on going up again and again and again rather than trying to get a kill on his way. He was just kind of ignoring people on his way up.
I'm curious to see what the stats show here, because 8-bit is somebody that I think was playing defense and getting frags a good bit, but on top of that, I'm curious to see how his damage matches up here against somebody like Miko. It's actually pretty comparable, so the fact that 8-bit was able to get additionally more kills, and you see the DPS in Milcreo as well, the strategy is not for him to get kills, but if somebody like 8-bit is playing defense, getting more DPS, and doing roughly the same amount of damage to the safe, I think that's all you need to know. It was just always going to go ABC's way in that case.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely. You're looking at it and you're kind of thinking, oh, well, Milcreo's got more damage than the 8-bit. They're the main 2 damage dealers, but you looked across the board and it was pretty even across the ABC side, around those 60, 70,000s. Whereas I think the Charlie hit 2 shots on save total with 3,200 damage for the side of Crazy Raccoon. So not really where they wanted to be in that situation. You see Tensai, you know, they're never really going to be creeped out in a 1-1 situation. You know, we were watching, I think it was Chasing Glory, and he was like, you know, we were down, but we looked across the way and they looked flustered. And that's just something that Crazy Raccoon never are. They're never flustered. They always feel like they're in a position to come back and win. And you know, it's only 1-1, so they're not even backs against the wall yet.
It's a team that they've proven no matter the situation, they can still find a favorable result. And I think that was a huge learning for them, especially in something like LCQ, where there are multiple moments, especially against a home crowd like Casa Brawl, and they still find a way to pull off that reverse sweep. That's something that I'll always remember from 2025 especially, and in the legacies of all 3 of these players. I think it's something notable. I think there's something commendable about them never giving up. They're still super chill. I mean, there's not a lot of talking going around in that room. I'm sure it stings a little bit that they got kind of thumped in that set number 2, but plenty of room to still grow. They have plenty of experience, and that's what makes them so difficult to play against. They're so hard to give a final kill. They always just seem to find a way.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it kind of slows down a bit again, get back to Crazy Raccoon tempo here as we are on to Hard Rock Mine and Gem Grab. Definitely a different route. You can't really be expecting to just be running this one down. I mean, actually, you can. We've seen so many run it down comps in Hard Rock Mine. It's a different meta to how I guess it would usually be played a bit more slow, calm, composed. Spike going to be the first pick coming in from ABC then. And that's what we saw last time as the first pick as well. It's just so well-rounded.
Rico escaping the ban stage as well. We haven't seen a lot of him on Hard Rock Mine today, but I think it's a valuable brawler historically on this map and in the current meta. Sound effect, couldn't quite tell what it was. Looks like it's Charlie, though. Charlie's been a more valuable mid in the pro scene as of late. I do feel like there's a plethora of mid choices, though, especially in this region between brawlers like Max, Gus, Crow shows up a good bit, but when I see Spike, some of those brawlers you can no longer work with, and obviously they have to adjust a little bit for these ban stages. Some of the like Crow, of course, thrown out there. We haven't seen Tara a lot today, but of course, with the super is somebody that can reclaim gems, get those last-second kills that you need.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, they're kind of readying themselves for offense from ABC, I feel, here as well, with the Charlie being able to do such a good job of shutting down aggression, you know, cocooning herself when in perilous situations, and Tara's going to be able to get so many supers off, you know, the lighter the mortises, the more aggressive people coming forward, so we'll see if IC can manage this brawler well. We saw it, I think it was in the first series, the quarterfinals #1. We saw Mortis come down on this map, and it did a very, very solid job. But we'll see if IC can match that.
Spike currently should be playing lane most of the time, but we saw him earlier be a mid option. So curious what ABC make with this 5th pick. Because if they go with something aggressive, something tanky, they're obviously going to be dictating Spike into the middle of that map.
Sandstorm!
Yeah, I think they are going to send Sandy on that side lane there. I think Sandy's intention is going to be to play against that Tara, because especially if they wanted to go with something like the Tara spawners and the pets, Sandy can pierce through them. Traditionally, Sandy's just going to be a good one-on-one matchup in the Tara.
Yeah, I mean, the support from Leon's just going to be useless against Sandy. Sweet Dreams shutting people down as well, get a lot of sandstorms. If they pick something aggressive, they're going to be able to get through, as I said. The support from Leon, the spiderlings from Charlie, they're going to be able to burn through so much just with that single projectile from Sandy. So I do like that pick from them. Leaves himself a little bit susceptible to something a bit more aggressive, and the Trunk is coming in yet again on Hard Rock Mine.
Anticipated the Trunk, it's usually a 6th pick kind of brawler on these maps, and when I see Mortis and Sandy, I feel like especially on those side lanes where you now know that Spike is going to be playing the mid, they're going to be trying to put that Sandy on the Tara. So in a one-on-one matchup, I like Trunk's odds against both of those brawlers. Sandy, of course, can get a stunning gadget down that puts you to sleep for a moment, but Trunks has so many health points and a gadget that can replenish his health, and Mortis is somebody that's an assassin, likes to deal with those squishier brawlers. I don't think he's going to have the easiest time in this set. I kind of like Crazy Raccoon's odds after this draft.
Well, we'll see if it plays out for them or if ABC will take another set and go 2-1 up. It's fertilized yet again, no curveball, so a bit easier to dodge for the side of Crazy Raccoon. Mortis just going straight in, going to gadget over towards Milcreo. Gets his super, and You'd have thought it had died about 5 seconds ago, but he was still going for so long there, and Sandy doing a good job against Tara as expected.
All things considered, that was a great transaction. It bought them time. ABC were able to claim 3 gyms. I know Mortis doesn't get any kills out of it, but they're still playing the objective a little bit. If KenG can just be a nuisance, I think he's doing his job well.
So no support from beyond. It's going to be the Psychic Enhancer then for Milcreo here as well, just to scout people out in bushes. He's going to be coming out on top of the Mortis here, gets the good shots in, and the super is available too. Might throw it out to the Sandy, but chose to hold on to it in case the aggression comes forward once more. Sandstorm placed, and there's the predictive super, and actually, it's not going to pay off for him at all.
Yeah, a little too much there. I think you really want to make sure you're seeing the enemy's eyes before you drop that Tara super, because if you can get those kills, you can steal gems, and in that case, just give yourself an opportunity to preserve the mid. Thankfully, Milcreo doing great. Tensai survives. All things considered, Crazy Raccoon come away with multiple gems in that interaction.
Yeah, not a good gadget there from KenG. Puts himself, I think, even in a more perilous situation. But it's 8-3 here, and the next gem will be spawning on CR's side too. KenG hypercharging the back spawn of Crazy Raccoon, so that's got to be very careful here. He has the super. Cocoons himself instead of just getting rid of KenG, and I'm not sure how he's not survived that. Real nice stuff, and KenG just retreating all the way. Super comes through from Trunk, and daylight robbery for ABC.
That's one Crazy Raccoon would want back. Crazy Raccoon should have had that in the bag, and now Milcreo just has an extra super lying around that he's not going to get any use out of. Excellent job from KenG overall. I mean, that set, he was able to dash forward. I really do feel like that's one that got away. The blue side should have had that.
I just don't know why he cocooned himself rather than just cocooning the Mortis.
Yeah, it might have just been one of those, you know, insta decisions where you have to just click a button and go with it. I get it, but I think to your point, why save yourself when you could just put a cocoon on Mortis? I think you're right. That was just not the right decision.
And I'm not sure what kind of stunned him in spot. Did a spike gadget hit him? I wasn't sure in the situation, but he couldn't move. He couldn't do anything after he came out of that cocoon, so not the best in the back lines there for the side of Crazy Raccoon. What should have been a game goes the other way, and ABC probably feeling pretty good about that one.
Not sure whether to blame Moya or Milcreo as well, because both of them are named the same thing. So we'll find out later down the line who made that mistake. Nonetheless, CR is still a team effort, so it's going to be the blue side that's penalized for it. Now able to progress up the map. That's a nice steal. So in Gym Grab, spawns are going to be on opposite side. When we go on the CR side, like you just saw, they stole one from ABC. The more gyms that they are stealing, the better odds you have of winning this one.
Milcreo's burned a lot of ammo shooting through his bat there during the gadget, and that's yet another mistake. Super available from KenG yet again, just lurking in the backlines, keeping Milcreo on his toes. And now Milcreo Tara gonna have to use that Psychic Enhancer, get the super off here, but a super through from KenG will secure it. Hypercharge there, and the gems are surely stolen here. Tensai in the backlines trying to make something happen on the other side. Has to go and claim the 3 from the mid, but KenG yet again walking away with all the goods.
The cocoon saved her, but it also was just a nail in the coffin. You can't pop out of it early, and if the other team just sit around and wait for it, they didn't make a move. They knew they had her dead to rights. And as a result, it's going to have to be Tara making a big play with a super of some kind or using this gadget to find the extra frags. Tensai, of course, carrying 4 gems. He's leading his team right now. As Trunk, you want to be aggressive. You want to be up in the enemy's faces. Crazy Raccoon have to play this more conservatively and more uncomfortably with their composition now.
Well, it is close in gems, regardless of that kind of big flip around that we just saw ABC take a lot of Crazy Raccoon's gems. Milcreo going to need a super in these circumstances to try and flip this game. And he's going to get it, but KenG will take him down, and that might allow them to get this 10th.
I see branching out on this right-hand side as Tensai is forced away. He has to be passive-aggressive. That's not something you want to see out of your Trunk player. You want Trunk in the front lines, and instead now they're facing a countdown. They have time to get this from the mid. We'll see how aggressive ABC get for it. I think they know that they're not going to have an insta-kill here. KenG, though, trying to make a move, uses a gadget to teleport to that left-hand side, grabs a frag as well. So now it's a 3v2. This is the moment for ABC to push forward to try and claim gym number 11.
Countdown starts for Crazy Raccoon, and Tensai 4 over his head, so he can't stay in that aggressive position that he wants to. KenG going in, super missed by Milcreo again, and a hypercharged Sandstorm placed down will allow them to start the count now. Tensai going in, and he'll fall as well, and KenG with 10, popping off every chance he gets. Might be securing this set for ABC.
Now it can be a full defense out of Sandy. Sacrifices their life, but it's 15 gems on the other side. ABC with plenty of mobility to work with in Mortis. That's one that I feel like CR let go. ABC taking the lead in our match.
To me, it just seems poor. As you've just said, they've let it go. It seems poor from Crazy Raccoon. I'm not saying ABC are playing bad by any means. They're playing well. But Crazy Raccoon are letting these slip so often. I feel like they could have had a couple of games quite easily there without a couple of slip-ups. But ABC, deserving of the set. You've got to take advantage of those situations when they happen, and Kenji loved it.
Just a toughie overall. I mean, we're going to see it in the replay here. There are several moments where Kenji's able to grab kills that he probably shouldn't have. But you know what? Credit to them as well. They kept fighting, and despite maybe being in a disadvantageous position, they were still able to find ways to win. And to somebody like Crazy Raccoon, that's awesome to see. Credit to ABC for winning. I want to see better out of CR. I'm used to a standard being higher for them.
I said it all comes down to whether Crazy Raccoon has figured out a meta or not. And right now it seems like not really. It doesn't work out quite as they would have hoped. I feel Kenji on that Mortis with a whopping 10 kills. Icy did pretty well on Sandy overall, I felt as well. Not got as many kills as needed though to truly hold up against Tensai Moya on McCreo on the other side. I feel like, yeah, in the end, it all just came down to the Mortis. Really good pick from their side. They spiked it really well, Kenny.
I was happy with Spike. I really feel like Mortis, though, was kind of the star player there. I really liked what they did with him. I think having 10 frags, obviously a big deal. And then towards those closing moments, he was able to be a gym carrier, which is something rare for him. For CR, I think you could see it in that kill count as well. The gyms were very even. To me, that screams they had potential to win that. It was just those last-second steals that kind of evenly distributed that. I do feel like that's not the standard I'm used to seeing out of CR. I think that's the set that they would want back.
I think it was funny that the main question we were coming into this one asking is Kenji going to be able to de-rust in time? And he's been by far the best player in this series. So clearly didn't have that much rust on him to start with, but he's playing incredibly well. And if he carries this on, I can see this being yet another real big upset. They're 2-1 down now, which isn't what you expect at all in this situation. But Crazy Raccoon are making mistakes and ABC are taking advantage.
That's right. We had two questions coming into this. Can Crazy Raccoon figure out the meta by now?
I don't think it's been bad. The comps aren't bad, I don't think.
It's not great either, though.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, can Kenji de-rust? That we can answer with yes so far. I also want to apologize because is this the caster curse working on right now?
No, we got the first one right, where it's not us. It's not an us problem.
We're not going to be
predictions so far in shambles, though. If ABC wins that one, we're going to be 3-1. Only one correct. Not great.
Not a hot start, but you know what? After World Finals, I'm kind of used to it, and it just feels like this is an awesome appearance out of East Asia, a region I think that many of us saw as being predictable. You could see it in our predictions alone. I mean, just if you paneled us four, but a lot of Brawl Nation doing the same thing. I don't think we had any hot takes coming out here. I think the 4 teams we picked were kind of the 4 teams for a reason based on past results in past years. Instead, though, it's all these other teams, the ones with a lot to prove, that have been getting the job done. I don't want to see CR get complacent. I don't think they will by any means. I'm sure they're trying their best. That's not what I'm meaning to say. It's just, I think you have to watch out for all these teams. Every opponent must be taken seriously.
Spike into Frank's not going to be something they're going to be too mad about, to be honest with you. 2 of the buffy brawlers facing off, and to be honest with you, if they can keep the kind of brawlers like Spike, they're going to be able to keep Frank at a distance, close him down, be fine when it comes to overtime. If the map's broken up, they'll be okay as well. So depends what route they're going to choose to go. Serious brawl is going to be banned out as well. The M's, I like that being banned out. We've seen Meeple sneak in here and there. Mina's super annoying. Shake, you don't want to be seeing that either. And the thrower of Willow is a great chance to do that too. Mortis coming in again. If it works, why not do it again?
Love to see that Mortis. Willow, usually a brawler. We see banned out here Shade as well. You already mentioned that, Trev. Now on the side of Crazy Raccoon, we need something to address this Mortis. He's gonna have a field day so far also against the Frank. Can't just dash through him due to the delay of his shot. We'll see what Crazy Raccoon picks up here. I would feel Cordelius here, not gonna lie. The slip through the band would be super good against that Mortis. Throwers, yes, but not against Mortis.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we get somebody. Yeah, I was going to say anti-tank. Otis and Cordelius were kind of the two that I was thinking about as well. All right, we're 2 for 2.
You guys.
Look at us. We're wrong on predictions, right on drafts. I'll take it.
At least we get the draft correct.
Yeah, 1 for 2. At least one of them's good.
Yeah. Oh, we'll wait until this last brawler and ask you which draft's going to win, and we'll see.
No, you take that one. I'm 1-1. I'm just going to sit that way.
Yeah, just take it whilst you're ahead. Honestly, I'd be doing the same. But yeah, really solid picks. You guys both just mentioned. We're expecting the Cordelius, expecting the Otis. Going to be able to try and shut down this Mortis well, and stops them from going even more aggressive too. So might have to take something a bit more well-rounded, just like the Spike, to see if they can balance this one out. They're going to go the Mo.
And we already mentioned how well balanced this brawler is overall. The best of both worlds. He's a tank, but also can deal some damage from afar. Probably is going to take over lane here. And it's not too bad against Cordelius and Notice. But yeah, Kenny, you mentioned those two brawlers. I'm really feeling the draw from Crazy Raccoon in this one.
Yeah, this is just very contrasting to what we've seen earlier. I mean, Otis is going to have to be mid here, but then you've got Cordelius as the anti-tank. Frank is the big, beefy brawler. I think CR are still in this. Again, we talked about it a lot even when they were ahead. This is a team I'm just never going to count out. So despite ABC, the underdogs, being up 2-1, still plenty of work left to do. After all, the hardest one to win is the final set. So Crazy Raccoon with an opportunity now. There's that battle that we talked about before. Frank getting the victory this time, and CR with plenty of positioning to work with.
Well, I like what Milcreo did there, back against the wall, just ensuring that he's not going to be able to dodge those shots by dashing through him. Nice stuff again as he gets this early wall break and predicts the dash through to shoot backwards. Milcreo going for the ball, but will be quickly shut down by the Mo. An overkill from a Chape as he throws out a super as well.
Yeah, a little backup to help the low HP Mo. He's going to be dribbling the ball. Kenji back in action. We've seen what he can do on this Mortis pick. He is threatening. That previous set was so good out of him, but this time he's got some difficult matchups. Something like Cordelius, Otis, not a fun time as a Chappie's just been kind of spawn locked here. Milcreo up in his face looking for a super. I see dodges, but will finally go.
Well, at least he got another shot off. Should be a bit closer to that super once more, which is the real driving factor and goal-scoring ability that Mo brings to the table. Kenji going to try and get the multiple back hits. Milcreo just pops a hypercharge. Doesn't even use super. Just use it to obliterate the Mortis and get that attack speed up. Still in a defensive stance, though. ABC just waiting for their turn to go aggressive.
Despite CR definitely winning what I feel like is the KD category, they haven't been able to grab this ball very easily. Great puppy guarding coming out of Mo, and they have a hyper charge kind of in the back pocket if they really need it. Out of the spike, a cutoff on the left-hand side from Tensai, a light plant necessary, a dive forward. IC survives, that's a big one as well. Tensai kicks this ball to the left-hand side. Don't know if I agree with that choice, just kind of had to get rid of it quickly, but now it's the ABC side who can take complete control with it.
Yeah, well, Kenji does his maths wrong by 30 HP there. Thought that the super and gadget would have been able to kill Tensai and give him a chance to score, but they're in a good position now. Hypercharge almost ready to go for the side of ABC here on the Mo. Needs to get this super to be able to use it really successfully and try and score, because we've seen that a few times today where the Mo just gets hypercharge, gets the ball, and the ball is in the back of the net. Still, it's still 0-0, so yet to make a move either side.
Frank gets transitioned from being fully offensive to a stalwart on defense. He is just waiting around by this ball, has a super available. If anybody from the red roster dares make a move forward, he will be there to smash them with a hammer. Right now, though, as overtime approaches, it's something that the CR side has to consider. Both ends looking to make moves here, dumping that ball off, hypercharge being popped. Icy elects to go for it. Low HP will survive. This could be a great flank for ABC.
Yes, amazing timing to get a kill there, but it's turned around and they get two on the other side. Crazy Raccoon trying to move this ball forward. Hypercharge used just to get in the position to pass this forward. Milcreo goes for the super, but caught off the line by IC. Chape still standing tall here as well. A couple of mushrooms collected. Kenji trying to get the super, throws it out, gets the connection onto Milcreo as well. And a 1-2-3 pass of the ball might get this one in the back of the net with only 10 side left. Needs to get a super, and he's going to go for the shots instead. The shot goes left, and Milcreo's there to collect.
Rushed it a little bit, and now they have a super available for two brawlers. They've spaced the floor. A kick over to the right-hand side. Oh, that had to have been an auto-aim. Nonetheless, though, Frank makes up for it. CR grab a win and a much-needed one. For a scrappy game like that, for them to come away with game number 1 victory, I think is a big deal.
Yeah, well, a slight overcommit there, I think, defensively and offensively from Kenji. Not the best position to be in to try and score that goal. I mean, I thought they were going to be able to pass that one straight up and get the goal, but a very well-timed hypercharge from Tensai kind of fended that off in the end.
Close calls for both ends. It's CR who persevere, lobbing a life plant up the middle. It's going to be Frank, either Milcreo or it could be Moya, no telling, but one of the two is at the top of your map right now, while the other, rocking the Cordelius, outranged by a mile. Mo can just keep the distance and keep poking away. It's going to take a lot of prowess of mechanics to move up this map.
Curveball not finding the desired connections for a Chape. Live Plank going to be paced down, and there's the super coming in. Tensai slowed. Kenji moving to the right-hand side. Wants to get his super here off the Frank, but he'll go back against the wall. And Milcreo's got that locked down. Every time Kenji wants to make a move, he ensures that he can't dash through him.
Super available for Kenji, but this red roster is just kind of hanging around. They're actually going to rotate him to that other side. Gadget pierces through that wall. Not enough to get a kill. Cordelius able to recharge a little bit. This is where it gets scary, though. A takedown on that right-hand side. 3 brawlers walking their way up the middle. Kenji dribbling a meat shield of a Choppy trying to do his best. A gadget goes through. Oh, and they get the shutdown just in the nick of time. CR survive.
Just about with about 500 HP apiece to the 2 defending brawlers of Milcreo and Tensai. And a hypercharge available from a Choppy again. Fast spot to use on the left-hand side, and Milcreo just waiting behind this wall. Can't be baited here as Kenji trying to dash through. Needs the super to be able to survive this one, get some good heals off the double connection. Goes for the gadget and gets supered himself. The slow and stuns there, but a Charpeel refrag.
Spike hypercharge is just too much to handle for poor Frank, despite having one of his own. Just not enough. Slowed down, the DPS goes up to 1,000,000 when the purple button is popping. Kenji right back in the mix. I don't know about that one. Kind of just dashed into multiple enemies with easy lineup of shots.
Yeah, well, the super from Milcreo again won't find any connections, and a hypercharge available for the Mo on the right-hand side, but he gets picked up quickly. And Kenji not going to be the best in this situation against the 2 remaining brawlers on the side of CR. Tensai gets hit, and Kenji dashing forwards, yet again, miscalculating the damage that gadget's going to do.
Supers available for all members of ABC, and now they have positioning of the map. They're just forced to throw Frank at the enemy sides. He's dribbling, gonna dump this on the top left-hand side. Anything to just make the red roster have to regroup and readjust how they move forward.
Kenji, hypercharge there, and he's gonna use it. Not really to the best of his abilities, I don't think. That would have been much better served in the overtime situation that we're about to go into, especially with Milcreo and Tensai supers and hypercharges in hand. IC going to need to work for one of his own. Milcreo just going for the walk forward. Knows that the Mo wants the super, but he's not even going to at all. Now he'll go for it as well. This could be a huge turnaround. They get the kill. The curveball's not finding Tensai. The hypercharge super kills him. Kenji goes forwards, and I don't think this is going to be a goal.
Both of these sides making clutch defensive stances. This just got a whole lot trickier for ABC, who almost had a shoe-in. If they don't land that stun, this is definitely over. Now, as a result, CR have an opportunity to at least progress. 30 seconds is all that remains in overtime.
IC really going to want this super here and does get it. Charpy gets one of his own as well, and CR looking dry in terms of supers. Kenji should be able to pick up Milcreo here, and a Charpy holding on to his. Might want to use it for a pass. IC can go forwards and wait for the ball that a Charpy can provide, but at the moment they're not synchronizing it well. Kenji needs to go in, free up some room. Now IC comes through, and the correct decision was made, as this is a big game for ABC up next.
We've seen CR persevere in some difficult situations, but after being your 2025 world champions, I don't think a lot of us would have expected ABC to push them this far. To call it early, if you will, not even making a set 5 would be a disastrous result. Crazy Raccoon are a team with high expectations. Many expect them to win this entire monthly finals. Instead, they're fighting against a band of brothers with a lot to prove. None of them have made world finals in a long time. A kick forward, just short. Easy catch up for a Choppy here. They're gonna be able to play clean up, a dodge onto Frank, a nice tag. Tensai maintains, but nonetheless, red roster still hold on.
Kenji saved by his teammate there, and Charpy doing a great job, and he'll get another kill up the top as well. Ball just being placed over the right-hand side, seemingly wanting to play this one a little slower. Kenji dashing through, can't find the double back connection, but IC will get some great charge off it.
Now a dive forward. Mo goes underground, will pop up right in Frank's face. They're gonna have to dash this ball onto the left-hand side. Kenji, now knowing the Shadow Realm is where Cordelius is, can safely grab this. Has a hypercharge available for Mo. And instead of taking off, gonna strategically place it on this right-hand side. Oh, but a great tag out of Frank. Now he's got a super available. Sees Tensai with a possible button as well. Instead just goes for the hypercharge. The pure stats enough to walk him in. CR match with their goal.
Surprising to see him commit a super to that as well. I thought he was just going to accept that Crazy Raccoon were going to score there. Big game now as it's 1-0 up for Crazy Raccoon. They're wanting to drag this to a set 5. Kenji misses his first dash, but finds the double back connection. Milcreo will be his next target, and in goes IC with the hypercharge. Finds the kill and gets some good shots in as well.
Good on Frank to at least get rid of the ball and make them move for it, but Choppy's still holding plenty of positioning. And a purple button in the back pocket as well. Now Frank with a super available, flashing it constantly. Just hard to work with that distance. Now slowed down as well. He's just a sitting duck. Nothing he can do. Mo with a quick TP forward, goes underground, burrowing his way up. Now the net wide open. All 3 members of ABC punch one through, and it's tied up here. 1 goal away, and ABC will take down your defending world champions.
Just 1 goal away from the 3rd upset, and we're only in the quarterfinals. Huge moment for ABC as Achabi has the super. Tensai, hypercharge of his own. Milcreo needs to work for a super to make use of his. Milcreo just waiting in the wings on the left-hand side. Kenji going aggressive and he gets pulled in. Can he get the double back off? Hypercharge found out of nowhere and he'll get the kill on the Frank. Now moving forwards as Milcreo forced to pop the hypercharge and go aggressive, but he gets killed by the Mo. And positioning power with ABC.
Tensai in a brutal spot. The 3-timer now has to play full-on defense while Frank and Cordelius respond. It's ABC in prime positioning. Tensai putting his body on the line. Can't dodge enough, though. Super goes down. Takedown available. And Cordelius nowhere in sight. It's upset number 3 for the day. The defending world champions have fallen.
Absolutely incredible from ABC. What an upset. That's 3 out of the 4 quarterfinals have gone in arguably the opposite way than the majority of people would have thought. ABC going huge here in the East Asia region, shaking things up. What a moment for them. Incredible, incredible performance.
Kenji was moments away from retiring, from never setting foot in this game again. And what does he do in his opening debut? Absolutely pops off. Back-to-back Mortis sets where he was a key factor. He shook up roster mania in this entire region. He put teams on new rosters. You know what? He just earned his spot. He took down CR. He's very familiar with these opponents. I'm thoroughly impressed. This is just resetting my entire expectations of what I thought East Asia was going to be.
I mean, yeah, expectations definitely being shook here, despite Kenji, being maybe a little rusty. But as we established before, I think we can answer that question.